Good morning. Oh my gosh, what is happening with this hair? It is y'all, I don't know. Y'all keep telling me yes on the short hair. I think I'm going to end up putting these extensions back in. Anyways, it is wild today. I'm waiting on my girl Elizabeth. She's going to hop on here in a minute. If you jump on to say hi. This is a weekly series that I'm doing now called Meet My Tribe. I'm super excited about it because what I've discovered is that so many of these women, I mean, we all have our own story, right? And so many of these women have incredible stories, and I'm just enjoying getting to know them. So I decided to let you guys sort of get to know them too. Let's see. See if I can tag her in this. I believe that I can. I will just have to find her, is the thing. Let's see. Thanks, guys, for your patience. Also, I put on this morning, just so you guys know, I put on lip plumping stuff. And so my lips feel like a little bit like they're on fire right now. Does that ever, like, they're not bad, but almost like if I put, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like having stuff on your lips that sort of tingles. Girls will know what I'm talking about. And guys with girlfriends who wear that stuff, because guess what? It'll end up on you too. Yay, there's Elizabeth. It's adding you, girl. It says it's adding you. Hope it's not my connection. Hey!
Hey!
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love those earrings on you. Super cute.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with these. They're actually my mom's. Mine haven't come in yet, and so I just keep borrowing them from her.
It's so funny because every time I go to place an order, I forget about ordering them. So I've still yet to order them.
They're fab. They're so great. I love them. So I know this is sort of last minute because Sarah Catherine was supposed to jump on with me this morning, and
it's fine
with the schedule. So we switched you guys out. But I'm really excited about this, Elizabeth, because I've been wanting to get to know you. We see each other via Zoom and in comments, things like that, but we haven't had a chance to just sit down and talk.
No,
and say hi.
So thank you for this opportunity. It's super cool. So
yeah, I'm excited. I want to hear a little bit about, first of all, cheers to a Tuesday morning. I am a coffee girl. I see that you're a coffee lover as well.
Yes, and sadly, I don't have any coffee near me, but that's okay.
I committed the adult sin this morning, Elizabeth, and I completely ran out of coffee. Hence the Starbucks in my hand. I was like, this cannot happen. No. Mama will not say.
No, coffee.
Not okay.
Always have. I might not have anything else in my house, but I always have coffee and creamer.
Couldn't believe I let myself run out of it. That's so unlike me. Okay, I want to hear about your Park Lane story. And everybody is used to hearing me talk. I want to hear you talk. So I want to hear how you got started. I know you just celebrated. Is it just your first year with Park Lane that you just celebrated in August?
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear the story.
Kind of crazy. So I had never heard of Park Lane before. Like, if I had heard of them, I was like, what is this? I had no idea. Got invited to an online party in July of 2020. And again, went to, have support one of my friends. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to buy a pair of earrings. Like I went in going. And then Christy was the stylist. And she was like, and then you can do this. And this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. Like my wish list was growing and growing and growing. So, and then the sale. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is genius. So I was writing, my page, I swear I had a page. And so I texted Christine my wish list and I'm like, and I need to have a party. So
yeah, that stuff for free.
Yes. And I was just like, okay. And then we had a party and she basically was like, you do this. So I did. I did everything she told me. Like, if you want to post pictures, so I would take a selfie and post it. And she was very much like, you need to do this. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. I was working full time at a school. I was the front desk, so no free time during the day. And I had previous direct sales experience, and it was a company where we needed to be on our phones all day long. And I didn't want that again. Because, you know, when you have one experience, you immediately think the other one is going to be the same. And, you know, close out the party. Okay, this could be your party. This could be, I'm like, I just really thank you. I am so flattered, but no. So then I go to school the next day and actually see my friend who I went to the party. I was like, okay, you will never get this, Stephanie, but I was asked to do this. She goes, oh, you need to do it. I'm like, okay, what? I'm like, she goes, you could definitely make more money than you did with your other one, and it's fun. And I was like, oh no. So I texted Christy. I'm like, can we talk? And I know she was like, yes, I got her. Sure. So I called, you know, we talked, and she answered all of my concerns. I mean, I had a list of, okay, if this happens, what do I do? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? And she's like, just give it a month. Just 1 month is all I'm asking. I'm like, okay. Well, then she told me that the parties she booked for my show would be mine. I'm like, no, you did the work. She's like, no, this is what we do. I'm like, okay, that's okay. So then that was it. And within 1 week of joining, I'm like, this is different than any other company I have ever heard about, seen. I was blown away. Could not believe it. And so that was a year ago, and I still am blown away with just Park Lane's generosity, the treasure tribe that we're a part of. I mean, it is incredible the amount of support that you get from everyone.
So I see you, and you're sitting, it doesn't look like in a school office right now. Does this?
No. Yes, no. So about a week, maybe 2 weeks in, after I'd done all my parties and I got my first paycheck, I texted Christy. I'm like, I'm going to do this full time in May. Like 1 week into it. She's like, okay. Like I went from not wanting to do it, and I'm going to make this my full-time job. And so that was my goal last year was, I knew like that was at the end of August. School has started on the 15th. By September 1st, I'm like, I'm doing this full time. And so May 21st, I was able to quit and ran out of that school, never looking back.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So now you just literally set your own schedule and you do everything from home on your own time.
On my own time. Yes. I love it.
Wow. Okay. First of all, I'm super happy for you about that, because that's incredible. We have similar stories, except that I was just let go from my job.
Right.
I didn't still have one. But instead of pursuing another job in that same industry, you know, in the radio industry, which is what I normally would have done.
Right.
A little bit of severance, and I thought, you know, that's going to buy me a little time. I clearly need a mental and emotional break from this anyways. Mm-hmm. And I fought Park Lane too, and then thought, you know what, why not? It'll at least bring in a little extra money while I've got my severance. It'll make me sleep better at night knowing I'm bringing in some, you know, and now here I am trying to make it a full-time job. And I love hearing from women like you, because you've just been doing this a year. You know, it's easy to talk to someone like Chrissy or Tish or anyone and be like, well, okay, but you've been doing this for like what, 20 years now? Like this industry, you know?
Yeah.
So it's talk to someone like you who really just decided to dive all in.
Yeah.
Did your friends think you're nuts?
Yes. Yeah. And it was one of those things where I sat down when I was like, okay, I'm going to do this full time. I sat down with my husband and I'm like, how much do I need to make a month? Mm-hmm. I need to know numbers. And so we kind of decided, because we had insurance through my school. And so in order to flip to his, it was going to be way more because he works for a small company. And he's like, okay, well, this is what I need every month. I'm like, done. It's like, I'm done. So you know, in right now, from January until now, I've made more than I did in an entire year working for the school, because they pay not that well, which is really sad. And so,
You were
yeah.
that from home on your own schedule, like, I mean, that in and of itself is worth the switch. The fact that you've made more money to this point is just bonus.
Yes. So while working, I earned 3 trips. So I earned Bermuda for 1, and then I earned Key West for 2, and almost have earned Aruba for 1. So, I mean, it's just incredible. It's not me. It's truly Park Lane. I mean, they give you exactly what to do, and if you follow it, you can do it. I mean, you can do it. Anyone can do it if they're willing to put in the work.
I will say this is encouraging to me because, you know, I said I'm a real weirdo. I use myself to experiment for things a lot. Like, that's just how my brain works. I wrote an entire book about, you know, the deep dive into your psyche and yourself and all of that. So I'm really into that sort of thing. And I thought, you know, I could really try to push myself with Park Lane. And then I thought, but you don't really even have to push yourself if you just follow the rules. It sounds like it seems like they've put systems into place. And then I thought, well, Amber, if they're claiming that you can make X amount of dollars, and we're talking about, there are women in our company lots of women who make 6 figures a year.
Absolutely.
Lots of women who make 6 figures. And I was like, you know what? If all it takes is following the rules, girl, I can follow a recipe. I love to bake. I can follow a recipe. Nadia tells me something and I do it like that, right?
Yeah.
So why do that, you know, for my business? So I love hearing that you just literally followed the systems.
Yeah, I did. If I was struggling, then I would text Christy and like, okay, what do I do now? And then we would walk through it. And I'm like, okay. And then, I mean, literally, she kind of told me what to do. I did it. Park Lane, I don't want to say told me what to do, but you know, they tell us what to do to get X. So I did what they did to do X. I mean, it wasn't.
That would be like a carpenter being like, well, I don't want that hammer. I know it'll make my job easier, but I don't, yeah, it's fine. I'll be okay without the hammer. Like, if someone gives you the tools to do a job and you know that if you use those tools to do said job, you'll make X amount of money.
Yes.
I mean, you do that, you use, right?
Yeah, you just have to want it. And I wanted it because my job was miserable. I was just not happy. So I'm like, I've got to find something else. And Park Lane fell in my lap.
Like mental and emotional. Like, how has it changed you in those areas?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin. Just the fact that one, I don't have to interact with mean people if I don't want to, because being at the front desk is just right now in a school, anyone who works in a school just gets emotionally abused and verbally. I mean, it's bad. But then last year, coming off, you know, with the virtual and then the in-person, parents would call and I was the first line. So then they would sit there and cuss me out because like the internet was broken. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah.
So just that mental exhaustion of dealing with that all day long, not being able to, you know, have bathroom breaks when you want to because you're out of school. Just all of that has been just such a relief. I don't have to take emergency anxiety meds anymore, which I had to have them. Yeah, because it would get so overwhelming. I would be like, okay. And I would literally have to go to the bathroom, take some emergency anxiety meds, take a couple deep breaths, and go back to face the day. That was my, like, on a weekly basis, that would have to happen. That's not worth it.
No, it's not. It's
Even
not.
if they paid me $1 million, it wouldn't be worth it.
No, of course not. Can I ask, like, where have you promoted to now within the company? Where are you?
So I'm at division. So
Okay.
it was my goal to be division in May before I quit. And so I hit that. So I was like, yay. And so right now I'm working on senior division for before
Okay.
the end of the year.
I have no doubts
Yeah,
at all. Not one in my mind, because I see you on every Zoom call that I can jump on. You're always on. And I think that matters. Just
it
diving in,
does. It does.
focusing. It doesn't take a lot of work really, but a little bit of work goes a long way.
Well, and that's the thing is that what I figured out, if I'm on 2 weekly free trainings
Mm-hmm.
that are going to help me, why would I not take advantage of that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even though working full time, I mean, I would usually come and watch them, that day on replay, recording. I would catch up on the weekend because I just saw the value in the trainings. It was
Yeah.
just, I mean, it would be silly not to.
It is silly not to. And they're becoming like my favorite part of my week, because I
Yes.
can thing out, and I know it's like getting our own personal TED talk, twice a week.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I I love it. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you've got a busy day. I'm so glad to get to hear some of your story and get to know you a little bit better. And I hope to see you in Aruba. Well, I will see you in Aruba.
Yes. That would be
Yes.
amazing. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much for asking me. So,
of course. Thank you for filling in for Sis.
of course.
And I'll see you on our Zooms.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye, girl.